Welcome, curious minds, to a captivating journey into the depths of the human psyche. Today, we embark on an adventure to unravel the mysteries of psychodynamic theory, pioneered by the brilliant Sigmund Freud. Prepare to be amazed as we explore the fascinating realm of the unconscious, delve into childhood memories, and unlock the secrets of human behavior. Get ready for an easy-to-understand and entertaining exploration of psychodynamic theory. Part 1. Unveiling the unconscious. Picture your mind as an iceberg floating in the vast ocean. What you see above the waterline represents your conscious thoughts and actions, but beneath the surface lies a hidden world, the unconscious. According to Freud, the unconscious is like a treasure trove of desires, fears, and unresolved conflicts that shape our behavior. It's time to don our scuba gear and dive deep into the murky waters of the unconscious mind. According to Freud, the mind is divided into three parts: the conscious, the preconscious, and the unconscious. While the conscious mind consists of thoughts and perceptions we are aware of, and the preconscious holds memories that can be brought to conscious awareness, it is the unconscious that holds the most intriguing secrets. The unconscious is like a reservoir of thoughts, desires, and memories that lie beneath our conscious awareness, shaping our behaviors and influencing our lives in subtle and powerful ways. It is home to repressed memories, unresolved conflicts, and hidden desires that continue to exert their influence, often without our conscious knowledge. Freud believed that the unconscious mind operates according to its own rules and motivations, driven by primitive instincts and desires. It is a realm where forbidden thoughts and socially unacceptable impulses reside. By exploring the unconscious, we gain insight into the hidden forces that shape our personalities and behaviors. Dreams, according to Freud, provide a glimpse into the workings of the unconscious mind. Through dream analysis, we can uncover the symbolic messages that our unconscious sends us. Dreams allow the unconscious to express its desires and fears in metaphorical and sometimes puzzling ways. Furthermore, the unconscious manifests itself in everyday life through slips of the tongue, commonly known as Freudian slips. These seemingly innocent mistakes, like saying one thing but meaning another, offer a window into the hidden contents of our unconscious mind. Understanding. Part 2. Structural theory. Sigmund Freud proposed a fascinating model of the human mind consisting of three interconnected elements: the ID, the ego, and the superego. Let's explore what Freud would say about each of these components. The id. According to Freud, the ID is the most primitive and instinctual part of the mind, operating on the pleasure principle. It is driven by basic desires, such as hunger, thirst, and sexual impulses. The ID seeks immediate gratification without considering social norms or consequences. Freud would describe the ID as impulsive, irrational, and demanding. It operates at an unconscious level, constantly seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. It represents our innate and instinctual drives, which must be controlled and channeled appropriately. The ego. Freud viewed the ego as the rational and conscious aspect of the mind. The ego develops from the ID and functions based on the reality principle. It mediates between the demands of the ID and the constraints of the external world. The ego's role is to find realistic and socially acceptable ways to satisfy the desires of the ID. It employs defense mechanisms, such as repression or rationalization, to cope with conflicts and maintain psychological equilibrium. The ego helps us navigate the complexities of life by considering practicality, consequences, and social norms. The superego. Freud believed that the superego develops through internalizing societal values, norms, and moral standards. It represents the voice of our conscience and incorporates societal rules and parental influences. The superego strives for perfection and moral superiority, aiming to suppress or control the instinctual desires of the ID. It guides our behavior by promoting socially acceptable actions and ideals, while punishing or producing guilt for behavior that violates moral standards. According to Freud, a harmonious interaction among the ID, ego, and superego is essential for psychological well-being. The ego must strike a balance between the demands of the ID and the expectations of the superego, finding realistic and adaptive ways to satisfy our desires. Freud acknowledged that conflicts among these three elements could lead to anxiety, psychological disorders, or internal struggles. Understanding and resolving these conflicts through psychoanalysis would allow individuals to achieve a healthier balance and a more integrated sense of self. Part 3. Psychosexual development. To understand the unconscious, we must take a detour into childhood. Freud believed that our earliest experiences, particularly in the first 5 years of life, have a profound impact on our adult personalities. Hold on to your hats as we hop aboard the time machine and travel back to your childhood playground. During the oral stage, which typically occurs from birth to around 18 months, the primary source of pleasure and satisfaction for infants comes from nursing and feeding. In this stage, the mouth becomes the epicenter of pleasure and discovery. Picture adorable little ones putting everything in sight into their mouths, from fingers and toys to random objects they encounter. It's a fascinating spectacle of curiosity and sensory exploration. This nourishing act brings them comfort and a sense of security. Freud believed that experiences during the oral stage could have lasting effects on an individual's personality. If an infant experiences excessive frustration or deprivation during feeding, it may lead to oral fixation, where they seek oral stimulation and gratification throughout their lives. Think of adults who excessively chew gum, smoke, or overindulge in eating or drinking as examples of this fixation. The anal stage, typically occurring between the ages of 18 months and 3 years, revolves around the development of bowel control and the fascinating process of potty training. It's a time of exploration, self-discovery, and sometimes comical mishaps that make for amusing anecdotes and shared laughter. During this stage, children learn to control their bodily functions and experience a sense of independence as they master the art of using the toilet. It's a milestone that marks their transition from babyhood to toddlerhood. Picture the scene: a child proudly sitting on a tiny potty chair, triumphantly announcing their successful bathroom visit, or even those hilarious moments when accidents happen and chaos ensues. Potty training becomes an adventure of its own, complete with celebrations for successes and patience during those inevitable mishaps. Freud believed that the experience of potty training could have lasting effects on an individual's personality. He introduced the concepts of anal retentive and anal expulsive personalities. An anal retentive personality is associated with excessive orderliness, neatness, and control, while an anal expulsive personality leans towards being messy, disorganized, and rebellious. These traits are believed to stem from the experiences and frustrations associated with potty training. The phallic stage, typically occurring between the ages of 3 and 6 years, marks a pivotal point in a child's psychosexual development. It is during this stage that Freud introduced the Oedipus complex, named after the Greek mythological character, Oedipus. This complex revolves around the complex interplay of love, desire, and rivalry within the family structure. In this stage, children become more aware of their bodies and develop a curiosity about gender differences. Boys may experience the Oedipus complex, where they develop a deep affection and attraction towards their mothers. They see their fathers as rivals and experience a sense of jealousy and fear of punishment. Girls, on the other hand, may develop the Electra complex, harboring similar feelings towards their fathers. These complex emotions and desires shape their interactions and relationships within the family and beyond. It's a stage filled with imaginative play, where children may act out scenarios of romance, marriage, and family dynamics. Their innocent minds grapple with feelings that are new and unfamiliar, paving the way for future emotional and social development. As we explore this stage, let's remember that the Oedipus complex is not a literal desire for incestuous relationships, but rather a symbolic representation of the child's emotional and psychological development. It serves as a framework to understand the complex dynamics that unfold within the family unit. While the Oedipus complex and Electra complex form a central part of this stage, it's essential to note that not all children experience these feelings in the same way or to the same extent. Variations exist based on cultural, social, and individual factors, making each child's journey through this stage unique. The latency stage, typically occurring between the ages of 6 and 12 years, is a fascinating phase where children seemingly take a break from the intense psychosexual development of earlier stages. It's a time of relative calm and focus on social interactions, intellectual growth, and the formation of friendships. During this stage, children immerse themselves in school pursuits, hobbies, and extracurricular activities. They dive into the exciting world of learning, discovering new interests, and developing skills. It's a time of curiosity and exploration, where they uncover hidden talents and passions. Friendships also flourish during the latency stage. Children form close bonds with their peers, engaging in imaginative play, sports, and shared adventures. These friendships provide a sense of belonging, support, and an opportunity for social development. From secret clubhouses to endless games of hide and seek, their world becomes a vibrant playground of shared experiences. While Freud emphasized the relative calmness of this stage, he believed that underlying psychological processes were at play. He suggested that repressed psychosexual energies from earlier stages were channeled into intellectual pursuits and social interactions during the latency stage. This redirection allows for the development of social skills, the formation of a sense of competence, and the consolidation of identity. The genital stage, which begins during adolescence and continues into adulthood, marks a significant shift in psychosexual development. It's a stage where individuals experience a surge of sexual energy and navigate the complexities of intimate relationships. During this stage, individuals seek to establish meaningful connections with others, both emotionally and physically. Freud believed that the primary focus during this stage is on developing mature adult sexual relationships. It's a time of exploration, self-discovery, and forming intimate bonds that shape our experiences of love and companionship. The genital stage introduces a range of emotions, desires, and challenges as individuals navigate the complexities of their own sexual identity and the dynamics of romantic relationships. It's a time of self-reflection, exploration, and learning to balance personal needs with the needs of a partner. Freud emphasized the importance of a healthy resolution of earlier psychosexual stages to lay a solid foundation for healthy adult relationships. Unresolved conflicts or fixations from earlier stages may surface during this stage, influencing the ways in which individuals approach and experience intimate connections. Part 4. Defense mechanisms and protecting the ego. As we venture further into the realm of psychodynamic theory, we encounter a fascinating concept: defense mechanisms. These are like shields that protect our fragile egos from the discomfort of conflicting thoughts and emotions. Imagine donning a suit of armor to defend yourself from the perils of the unconscious. Let's explore some of these defense mechanisms and how they function in our psyche. Regression. When faced with stressful situations or anxiety, regression involves reverting back to earlier stages of development. It's like taking a step back to a more comfortable and familiar state. For example, an adult may exhibit childlike behaviors or seek parental comfort during times of stress. Repression. Repression is the defense mechanism we often associate with Freud. It involves pushing distressing thoughts, memories, or desires into the unconscious mind. By burying these memories or desires, we aim to prevent them from surfacing into conscious awareness and causing anxiety. However, repression does not eliminate these thoughts. They continue to influence our behavior and mental states, sometimes manifesting through dreams or slips of the tongue. Rationalization. Rationalization is a defense mechanism that involves creating logical or acceptable explanations for behaviors, thoughts, or emotions that might otherwise be unacceptable or uncomfortable. It allows us to justify our actions to ourselves or others, often distorting the truth or minimizing the significance of our behavior. For instance, someone who failed an exam might rationalize it by attributing the failure to external factors rather than acknowledging their lack of effort. Projection. Projection involves attributing one's own unwanted thoughts, feelings, or impulses onto others. It's a way of displacing one's own uncomfortable emotions onto someone else, thus avoiding personal responsibility. For example, if someone has aggressive tendencies but denies them, they may project those feelings onto others and perceive others as being aggressive or hostile. Displacement. Displacement occurs when we redirect our emotions, usually negative or aggressive ones, from their original source onto a less threatening target. It allows us to release our emotions in a safer way. For instance, after a frustrating day at work, someone might come home and take out their anger on a family member or engage in an intense workout session. Sublimation. Sublimation involves channeling socially unacceptable or harmful impulses into socially acceptable outlets. It's a healthier defense mechanism that allows us to transform our instinctual or unconscious desires into productive or creative endeavors. For instance, someone with aggressive tendencies may channel that energy into competitive sports or artistic pursuits. Reaction formation. Reaction formation involves expressing the opposite emotions or behaviors of what we truly feel, often in an exaggerated manner. It serves as a defense against anxiety-provoking or socially unacceptable thoughts or desires. For example, someone with repressed homosexual desires might exhibit exaggerated homophobic attitudes to conceal their true feelings. These defense mechanisms can operate on an unconscious level, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. They serve as protective mechanisms to reduce anxiety and maintain our psychological well-being. However, it's important to note that over-reliance on defense mechanisms can impede personal growth and hinder self-awareness. Understanding these mechanisms can shed light on our unconscious motivations and help us navigate our inner world with greater insight and self-reflection. Part 5. Treatment Techniques. Psychoanalytic therapy is a therapeutic approach that aims to explore and understand the unconscious processes that shape our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It employs various treatment techniques to bring unconscious conflicts and repressed experiences into conscious awareness. Let's explore 3 key techniques used in psychoanalytic therapy. Free association. Free association is a fundamental technique in psychoanalysis. It involves the patient freely expressing their thoughts, feelings, and memories without censorship or judgment. The therapist encourages the patient to speak spontaneously, allowing their unconscious mind to reveal hidden or suppressed material. Through free association, unconscious conflicts and desires can surface, providing insight into the underlying causes of emotional distress or behavioral patterns. Catharsis. Catharsis refers to the release of pent-up emotions and emotional tensions through therapeutic means. In psychoanalytic therapy, catharsis often occurs when patients express and release their repressed or suppressed feelings in a safe and supportive therapeutic environment. By experiencing and expressing intense emotions related to past traumas or conflicts, the patient can achieve emotional relief and gain insight into their psychological struggles. Transference. Transference is a phenomenon in which the patient transfers feelings, desires, and expectations from past relationships onto the therapist. It stems from unconscious processes and can provide valuable information about the patient's internal world and past experiences. The therapist actively interprets and addresses transference, helping the patient gain insight into their relational patterns, unresolved conflicts, and emotional attachments. By working through transference, the patient can develop a deeper understanding of their interpersonal dynamics and make significant therapeutic progress. These techniques, along with other interventions, help facilitate the exploration of the unconscious mind, uncover unresolved conflicts, and promote personal growth and healing. The therapeutic relationship in psychoanalytic therapy is crucial, as it provides a safe and supportive environment for the patient to engage in self-exploration and gain insight into their psychological functioning. It's important to note that psychoanalytic therapy is typically a long-term approach, as it involves delving into deep-seated psychological issues and exploring the complex workings of the unconscious mind. The therapeutic process aims to bring about lasting changes by fostering self-awareness, resolving inner conflicts, and promoting psychological well-being. Thank you for watching. Be sure to join our vibrant community of aspiring counselors, where we share study tips, expert guidance, and valuable resources to help you excel in your preparation. Click the link down below to test your knowledge of the psychodynamic theory.